born and bred to do. Now we're also sponsored by Purina Pet Care, who make great pet products, pet food, and also the Bonnie Working Dog Kibble, which is formulated with low carbohydrates and protein levels for these hard-working, high-energy dogs. At the end of this demonstration, I've got two show bags to give away from Purina. I'll ask a couple of questions and two lucky winners will win a show bag. Okay, so we're here today to demonstrate the ability of the Australian Kelpie working a few sheep, working livestock, explain a little bit about the Australian Kelpie. So demonstrating a fully trained dog, showing you how they work, and then move on to a young dog, just demonstrating the natural instinct that these dogs have, and also a little bit about how we train our dogs. Just giving you a few little tips that we use in our training. Everybody can hear what I'm saying back here? Yeah? Okay, so here I have a 10-year-old dog. So he's an older dog. He's been my main sire in my stud. A very loyal dog. He's a dog that has been very good to me in working his stock. There you go. And he's a dog that responds very well, and he's obviously bred on dogs for me to continue on with the line that we are using. Now, Buck here is a black and tan Kelpie. The Australian Kelpie comes in a variety of colours. They also come in red and tan, fawn and tan, blue and tan, also a straight red, a straight black, a straight fawn, a straight blue, and also a green. Now the green Kelpie is often been mistaken for a dingo. And that is because the Australian Kelpie is made up of a red collie and a dingo. So they do have dingo influence in their blood. And in my eyes, that is where these dogs get their intelligence from. They are very, very smart dogs. And where they get their stamina from. They're very, very active dogs. These dogs can cover about 100 kilometres a day. So anybody that's got a Kelpie and thinks, I'm going to take the dog for a 10-kilometre run to wear him down, you're only fooling yourself. Because all you're doing is making that dog nice and fit. Okay, these dogs can cover a lot of ground. They're very good at their work. They concentrate and they anticipate a lot. So once you show them something once or twice, they pick up on it very quickly what they need to do. Okay, now the natural instinct of the Kelpie and the Border Collie is that they are a gathering dog, which means they go around their stock and draw the stock towards the handler, towards a reference point. They do not drive stock away, as opposed to a cattle dog. A cattle dog is what we call a driving dog. That dog works from behind, alongside us, and that's why they heel a lot. Now, a lot of people will ask the question, but when you see farmers on the properties, they've actually got their Kelpies working behind as well, driving stuff away. And yes, that is what we do. But it is something that we teach our dogs at a later stage, because it's simply going totally against their natural instinct. We let the dogs work naturally first, let them adapt to their natural instinct, get a good feel of what they're supposed to do, and then once we've got some training into the dog, it's simply very easy to transform into driving. And also, then we have a dog that can drive sheep and a dog that can draw sheep back to you. So the dog is capable of doing both things. There's no point in taking one away. If you try and teach a young pup to drive, which means working at the back of them of sheep or cattle, eventually that pup will give up and not want to go to the head of the stock, because you've always kept working him at the back. So it is important that we let these dogs work naturally to start with. Okay, so we'll start off by demonstrating the natural ability, which is the drawing and left. So I've asked Buck to go around his sheep. Now, his job is simply to get around. He's only got 10 sheep here today. One dog can move a few thousand sheep. So he's capable of, as I said, covering a lot of ground, concentrating very hard. Now, as you'll see, what he's doing is concentrating on his sheep, keeping that little mob of sheep together. That is his job. Now, as he comes out the side of the mob every time, he has a quick glimpse of where I am, the reference point. And that is how he balances his sheep to me. So, as I move around, I'm not giving this dog any commands. As I move around, he will always counterbalance and go to the other side. So I'm not telling him what to do, he's doing it naturally. So, if I actually go around the circle here, you'll see Buck will keep going around the circle, back to the other side. If I come back here, he'll change sides, and if I come back here, he'll change sides again. So that is what we call balance. Now, the third thing that Buck's doing here is he's listening. Listening in case I need to overrule his natural instinct, which is the part that I have taught the dog. Because we do not teach these dogs to work. The work instinct is in the dog. The only thing we teach these dogs is simply obedience and direction, to be able to control the dog, to drive the dog around. So we'll demonstrate that now. So the part that I have trained that dog. Come left. Here left. Yeah, left. Come right. Left. Come right. Left. Right. He can't make up his mind, can he? Silly dog. Okay, so come right. So that's very important to be able to manoeuvre our stock where we need. So basically like driving a car, we need our steering. Then we need our forward gear. So we need to be able to move forward to apply pressure on the stock. Walk up. Walk up. Stop. Okay, we need our brakes to stop. We need to release pressure on the stock, so we need a bit of reverse. Get off. Buck, get off. Get off. Get off. Sit. Good boy. And obviously, every car needs a horn. Squeak. Squeak. Okay. So, simply we teach these dogs to be able to manoeuvre the stock in case we're going along and there's a broken fence or a creek line or something like that where we don't want the stock to go down into. We can simply guide the dog a certain side and keep the stock out of that from that position, which is very, very important because with a mob of stock like sheep or cattle, they've all got a mind of their own. And once one gets away with doing the wrong thing, the rest are going to follow, which then makes the job a lot harder for the dog and for ourselves. So it's important that the dogs are in the right position at the right time and be able to basically take control of the stock and keep everything under control the way it needs to be. Now these dogs will work in extreme conditions. Being an Australian bred dog, they're a dog that will work in extreme heat, extreme cold weather. That's why they're being recognised overseas as a very good work dog, because they can handle all different climates. These dogs, believe it or not, will actually work themselves to death in the heat. They're dogs that need to be rehydrated very often because they do not know when to stop. All they live for is to work. They just love their work, always ready to go. Okay, so I'll open the gate here and we'll ask Buck to put the sheep in this little pen. Now can I just ask everybody to move back a few steps, please? Just we don't want anybody getting hurt or... obviously all these people, it's going to make the dog's job a lot harder because the sheep are obviously frightened of, they've never seen so many people. So we'll see how Buck handles the job here. Here left. So I'm here simply to open the gates for him. He's going to do the job. Now, what you'll see Buck doing is simply using his eye, so just staring down the sheep and asking him to move away. And that's very important, that the dog works nice and quietly and has that inner presence, the inner strength. A dog that doesn't have that inner strength, that strength to be able to move the stock quietly, will be out there barking and carrying on. So I'll just get the sheep in and I'll finish explaining about that. Yeah, walk up, come on. Good boy. Here back, come on. Here back, come on. Here back, walk up. Here back, come on. Here. Come right here, walk up. Here back, come on. Good boy, walk up. Walk up.
Under your ear.
Here back, come on. Here, walk up.
The right ear.
Here back, come on. Here. That'll do. Here back, good boy. Okay, so he done that fairly well. Now if a dog's out here barking, all it simply does is show the sheep that he's actually a bit weak, because barking and biting are the same thing in a dog. And what that is weakness. So a young, weak dog will always start barking and carrying on because it's his way of trying to bluff the stock. Now, as he's moving his sheep up, if he is barking and carrying on, he's drawing attention onto himself. It's a bit like me walking behind a group of people. If I start yelling and screaming, everybody's going to turn around and look at me to see where the noise is coming from, which then stops everything, stops all that movement, and we end up with a bit of a traffic jam. And that is simply the same thing with stock. So we want that dog to be able to have that inner strength where the stock respect his strength and move off him. Now, that comes down to a question we get asked a very lot, and that is, do these dogs make contact with their stock? And the answer to that is yes, they do. At times, they have to. When I say they have to, it might simply give the sheep a little nip on the leg or a little nip on the nose to defend themselves and to show their strength, because the stock are at times going to challenge that dog and see how much ground they can take off that dog so that they can go where they want to go. Now, in Australia, we're producing the best wool and the best meat that there is. As a farmer, these sheep are my livelihood. We get penalised very heavily for damaged wool and damaged meat. So it's in our best interest to have dogs that conduct themselves right with minimal stress on the stock, minimal stress on themselves and on us, but get the job done. As I said, we've only got 10 sheep here today. When we're moving thousands of sheep each day, it's a lot harder work, a lot different climates and conditions, so it's important that the dogs are up to the task. Okay, so I'll ask Buck to just watch your hand there, mate, please. Okay, just move back, please. Can you move back? Thank you. I'll just ask Buck to go and sit at that front gate. Come on, mate, hurry up. Good boy. Sit. Sit. Okay, so I just asked him to come here and get the sheep off the gate for me. So, here, Buck. Come here. Here, Buck. Here. Yeah, here, Buck. Come on. Yeah, here, Buck. Come on. Yeah. Now, right up. Right up. Right up. Get up. Get up. Right up. Go on, get up. You're right up. Go on, get up. Right up. Right up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Sit. Sit. Yeah, right up. Go on. You're right up. Right up. Go on. Get up. Get up. Get in. Get in. Quick. Push. Push. Okay, sit down. That'll do. Okay, so as you see there, you just ask them to bark to apply a little bit more pressure. Now, this is what we call a drenching race. On the farm, this could be 5 or 6 times the length of what it is here. We need to push through thousands of sheep each day. We obviously use this to drench sheep. Drenching is putting an oral drench into the mouth of the sheep for internal parasites, for worms. It's something that we have to do regularly with our sheep, and obviously ourselves and the children. So we do this to be able to isolate the sheep, and we can do our hands-on work by working on each individual sheep without moving backwards and forwards all the time, because the sheep are confined. Another thing we do in the race here, we might ear tag sheep. All sheep have to be ear tagged before they leave a property. Ear tag. Obviously, these are merino sheep, they're a wool sheep. We might go along and class the wool. And one important thing that we do in the race here is mouthing sheep. Mouthing sheep is telling the age of a sheep by its teeth. So, lambs grow 2 permanent teeth at a year old, and a further 2 teeth each year until they get 8 teeth. So if anybody's good at maths, they might win you a show bag at the end of the demonstration. That is how we actually tell the age of a sheep. Now, when the dog's backing the sheep, coming over the top, that's not effective in any way to the sheep. It's only for the dog to get from the back to the front. It's a bit like a traffic jam. There's no good pushing from behind because there's nowhere to go because the front sheep's not moving. So the dog needs to get to the front. He comes over the top. When he drops down and comes through the sheep, it entices the sheep to run past the dog, and that's what moves the sheep forward. In the drench races, that's how we load sheep into trucks, up into shearing sheds, and anywhere that we want to move stock in a confined area. Move our front sheep, the rest will follow. Okay, so we'll unload the race here. Come on, mate, yeah. Yeah, it'll come out, yeah. Yeah, give up, come on, here. Give up, come on. Come right. There. Boy. Okay, so now it comes down to the value of these dogs. Now, a dog like Buck, as I said, is fully trained. It takes 2 years to fully train a dog. And you see the best of a dog when it becomes 4-year-old. So that's when a dog peaks at 4. But you're going to get a good 8 to 10 plus good hard work from that dog for that good 8 to 10 plus years. Now, one dog is equivalent to 3 to 4 men in its work, or as my partner Jenny says, I think 1 or 2 women, which I disagree with. Now, a dog like Buck here is valued at around about $20,000. Now you might think $20,000 is a lot of money, but it's not. And the reason it's not is because Buck's there for me 7 days a week, 24 hours a day to do the stock work. I could not employ one person for a year to do a third of his work for $20,000. I don't pay him any superannuation, any sickies, or any holidays. He's there for me when I need him. So in my eyes, these dogs are very, very undervalued for the quality and quantity of work we get. They're a very loyal dog, and as I said, they're a dog that do their job very, very well. Washing better, mate. Okay, so that gives you a little bit of an insight on a fully trained dog. Now, so now we'll bring you a little 9-week-old pup. Can you have the pup, please? Yeah.
Just take the train off, right? It's only 9 weeks old.
Okay, so this little boy here, he's a great grandson of Buck's. Now, this little puppy here, as I said, is 89 weeks old. These pups can actually start working from 6 weeks old. So, them little puppies that are in the pen there, the smaller ones, they are 5.5 weeks. So they're on the verge of starting to work. Now when I say starting to work, as I said earlier, we can't teach these dogs to work. That is naturally bred in the dogs. The transformation happens on its own. What we simply do is give them access to shape. Now, movement and noises excite dogs. So the more the sheep can run around and move, it will entice that dog to think that he's got to do something with them. So we want that movement. Now that is why simply when we start our pups, we'd only have 2 or 3 feet. So the sheep will run around a bit more. When we have a little mob like this, they're going to tend to probably make it a little bit harder for the pup because they just want to knot up together and not move. So we'll put the young pup down and we'll just see what he's going to show us he can do. So this little puppy hasn't even got a name yet, but we'll see how good he is. Okay, so you see he's already starting to stalk the sheep. He's using a bit of eye. Now if I can get a bit of movement here, we'll see a bit of action happen. Okay, now you can see that pup concentrating very well on the sheep. As you can see, he's trying to stop the sheep. He's doing his job quite well. Nice calm little dog. Now, at this point, because he's still learning and trying to find his way, we're not trying to drum anything into his head. What we're simply doing is giving him access to the sheep. We're letting him work naturally. We're letting him find his way. And as you can see, he's not like Buck here. He's not getting around the other side of the sheep. He's just cutting between me and the sheep. That is because when a pup first starts to work, he has no reference point to take the sheep to. He's taking them wherever he wants to take them. He's not acknowledging me at all. So that comes down to the way we start to train our dogs. Excuse me for a minute, I'll just grab this right. Now, everybody thought these rakes were just for gardening, but they're actually for training dogs. Now what it is is not to hit the dog in any way. You never hit a dog. What you simply do with this is it's an extension of my arm. It's to be able to guide the dog and block the dog. Playtime yet? Now, what we do with the rake is we'll put that down, up down here. When he starts to work, we simply try and guide him around the sheep. So as he goes around, a bit of movement, we try and get him to slowly work his way around the sheep. So just by simply blocking the dog. Now what happens is, as he does more and more of this is actually the fourth time he's ever been on sheep. So as he goes around, we're guiding that dog around just gently, we're not applying too much pressure, till he finds his way. And as he's going, he comes around, once we can get him around there. As I said, it makes it a lot harder when they move for him. But we're nearly there now. So we can just get him to get around that side.
That's company policy, this is 2016.
So slowly just guiding him around.
Anyway, so she's heard an everything, no worries, I'll go through whatever they got to do.
And then when I come around to this side, I'll simply put the rake out and block the dog. And here, look at that. I blocked him. And he also starts to acknowledge that I'm attached to that rake, which then starts to make me the reference point. And as time goes by, as weeks go by here, that pup will soon learn that every time I step out in front of him, he just turns and goes back the other way. So he starts to use me as a reference point. So it's very important that we do things gently with the dog and just let him find his way around. Now, obviously in a situation like this, we'll use the older dog, left, just to get the sheep out of that corner. As you can see, for a little puppy, the sheep are terrified from him. So obviously he's got presence. Now, the only thing that I'll teach this young dog at this age is a simple stop and a recall, to call the dog off after each training session, because the more training he starts to get, the harder he will get to catch, because he will just want to keep working sheep when it's time to call off. So as you see, he's trying very hard. His little legs can't keep up with these sheep. Now, Buck, sit down. Sit down. Now, what that dog does for the first 12 months is teach me a lot about himself. He's showing me if he can balance his sheep, if he can try and block the sheep's strength, if he's weak, if he's going to bark. All them things that I see, which gives me a big insight of what the dog's going to be. And then in the future, when we start our training at a year old, I work a lot more on his weaknesses than his strengths, because he needs more work on his weaknesses. Now, all dogs, no matter what breed they are all left or right-sided, just like humans are left or right-handed. So that's another thing that's very, very important to look at in the dog, is to see whether he's left or right-handed or sided. And again, when he becomes 12 months old, I'll work a lot more on his weaker side, because with stock work we need a dog that's evenly balanced. So you see he's just showing a nice little bit of class. He gets distracted at times, but he's a little puppy. I don't expect the world from him. He's got a long way in his life yet to go. But with just cautious training with him, get through, mate, get through. Get through, good boy. Good boy. And just making it all positive for him. Bucks it down, sit. Making it all positive. Now, we don't use treat, Bucks it down. We don't use treats in our training. What we use is simply our voice. Dogs respond off our voice very well. So, when he does something well or exceptional, I'll praise the dog. Good boy. When he does something silly, I'll reprimand him by growling the dog. Just change the tone of my voice. Let him know that he's doing something wrong. And again, when he becomes 12 months old and I'm starting to teach him different things, he will think twice to do something wrong because he can hear me growling at him. Good boy, well done. You see the effort he put in? He didn't give up. He made sure he got that sheep back here. There you see he's got strength. This sheep is thinking about taking him on here. but he's just staring it down and asking it to move back. So he's showing that strength that I like to see in dogs. It's very, very important. So this young dog is going to go a very, very long way in our stud. It's actually going to be staying in our stud. And when we get the sheep to move, you'll see him show himself off very well. Moves around a bit. When we train our dogs, 5 minutes is more than enough. Because their attention span is very short, just like young children. We don't want that dog to finish once he's walked away and started to zip around or anything like that. We want that dog to pull up from what he's doing while he's actually very active and wants to concentrate on what he's doing. Now, one of the biggest questions we get asked is, do we train these pups with the older dog? No, we don't. The reason we don't is this little pup was actually working sheep. He's actually concentrating on what is going on. If we use an older dog, what happens is the young pup will actually start to chase the older dog around because they're a pack animal and the pack instinct kicks in. Everybody thinks that's how you train your dog, that he watches the older dog, but he's not, because he's not concentrating on his sheep. All he's doing is what that older dog is doing. Any bad habits that older dog has, that puppy will pick up very, very quickly. And we don't want 50 dogs to have the same bad habits. So simply, we use the older dog for assistance, but each dog must show us what it can do on its own. I'll just quickly bring out this little fella's brother, just to try and show you the different style that he could work in the way he works his sheep. Can I have the red colour one, please?
Ồ, đó được rồi gì nè.
Thank you. Okay, so this one's a full brother. Now, doesn't matter how many pups are in a litter, they will all work differently. As I said, they're just like humans, so some are more boisterous, some are a bit more shy. We'll see what this bloke's going to do. He might not do nothing. Now, if you notice the difference here, the other bloke was concentrating a lot more. This bloke is working in a lot closer. These blokes are practically getting in under the sheep. He's going to be a more forceful dog, this dog. He's a dog that will lean more towards yard work, but the other dog will lean a lot more towards paddock time. You can see he's just being very, very close to the sheep. So he's going to upset his sheep a lot more than what the other fella will. You can see he's obviously doing the same style where he's trying to block his sheep and everything, but he wants that movement to happen. And I wouldn't be surprised if this young puppy starts to bark soon, because he'll get frustrated and want these sheep to actually move, rather than just hold the sheep. Good boy. As you can see, still the same movements there, making the effort. As you can see, this dog, because he's working in so close, he's actually causing the sheep to break away, whereas the other fella just kept them in a mob. So this bloke upsets his sheep a little bit more. So again, it's very important, and when you're buying a working dog, is to make sure that you get the dog that you require for the job that you require. You don't go and buy a drill to cut a piece of wood, you buy a saw. As you can see here, the strength that he's got, he's going to come back for more. Obviously, we're not going to let it, the sheep hurt that young puppy. But as you see there, they're in the go. And as an Australian Kelpie breeder, I take great pleasure in breeding this breed of dog. They're a dog that's a very wonderful dog, great natured dog. A dog that's a very quick learner. Is an Australian icon, is a dog that is Australian bred and a dog that can handle a lot of conditions, a lot of work. So I enjoy bringing out a young puppy that doesn't have a care in the world and watching that transformation happen from starting to work sheep to developing into being a good work dog and going on for the rest of his life working sheep or cattle. or ducks, or chickens, or pigs, or turkeys. Anything that moves, these dogs are capable of working. So that concludes our show with the young puppies here. So you appreciate the Australian Kelpie. Now we can finish off the show by asking a couple of questions. So I hope you've been listening in. And 2 lucky winners will win a show bag from Purina. Okay, so can somebody tell me what the name of my old dog is? Anybody know? Hands up, please. Hands up. Yes. Yeah, congratulations. There you go. Okay, I think that question was a bit too hard. We better ask an easy one. So, can somebody tell me how old a sheep is that has 6 teeth? Are you good at maths? Yes? 3. You must have been very good at maths, were you? How about round of applause for the winners there, eh? Okay, thank you very much, and I hope it's been educational and enjoyable to you. Anybody who wants to inquire about any pubs, ask any questions at the pubs, please come and see us. Other than that, we'll be putting on another show at around about 12 o'clock, I think it is. So hope to see you then. Thank you very much.
So cute.
He said, why? He said, well, he's only charged him $200 for $1, but he charged it $200 for $2. And what's going on there? Well, John, you've got to understand this. The bird for the bullbush is worth $2 for her in the health.
Red colour one's a boss. Yeah.
Unbelievably can't be long. Thank you, John. Thank you very much indeed. Right, folks, then we're going to have a presentation of the junior poets. Robin has done the judging for us. He's got it all here, so see what about who the winners are and what have you.
Well, first of all, thank you, thanks Rick, and thank you to all of the girls. I don't know where the boys were this morning, but rarely do you get 3 such polished performers as you have. And I've seen a lot of children perform, and excellent. So I really do commend all of you. You made my life an absolute, but I'm sure you entertained the audience. And so I had to be very nitpicky. Any of them I would have been happy to give as first place. But I had to make a decision, and so, as I said, I had to decide to make a decision, whereas really I didn't. So for the 3rd place and the encouragement, I have given to the girl who wrote the original poem, so Elizabeth and
Tune in tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Bye for now.